Ladies and gentlemen, today we're doing a little bit of East German surplus coverage. Now, I've got an item here that's not so common and becoming relatively hard to get. We've definitely haven't had these in before, only in drips and drabs, thrown in with the old East German cold weather jacket. But this is the East German hood or helmet cover. At a similar time you had the US M65 field jackets coming out, where you'd have a hood that would be stowed away in a zipper at the back around the collar. And there were also other ways of, other systems at the time that were having buttons and a removable hood. The East Germans seem to have chosen the latter. An interesting tidbit is that prior to 66, this was a thing. They'd have them button on and be removable. So these would have slots in them. But post 66, 1966 I believe, the East Germans stopped doing that. Why? Don't know honestly, but it primarily became then a helmet cover, which also had these pretty sick looking mullets that hang off the edge. Now if you didn't need the excess material on the back here, you could wrap it up like we've done so on this model and tucked it in. But I suppose during winter time, having just an extra little wind blocker on the back there, stopping that blowing in, would be a nice and welcome little addition. So today we figured we'd show you how these go on and how you can also put a helmet net on there. So one thing we should point out with these helmet nets is this one is basically a drawstring that goes around these if you're wanting to use it with the cover underneath. And we said that they also had, here's a standard helmet here, this is a different net. If you look closely here, these nets have metal hooks. I would not use these in conjunction with the covers because they'd tear into them, and to be honest, you'd probably have a really hard time trying to bend them out. So these are intended to just go straight into the bare steel helmets, and the drawstring ones were intended to go over these covers, I believe. One neat little feature that I just want to point out here before we put this cover on the helmet is if you were to wear these as a hood, if you unbutton this, you have what would be commonly more known as a sniper's feel, but there we go. Having said that, it's in this very gaudy grey colour, and to be honest, I'd say if anything it's more of a insect blocker, although the mesh on that's quite wide, at least for our native insects here. Who knows, that might have worked in Europe, but just a neat little touch that they've got in there. If you're using this on the helmet as a cover, it's a little difficult to roll that down, but I suppose if you tried hard enough, it's also possible to still utilize it. Right now, so we've got the hood. You'll notice that there's a bit of a draw cord through here, and it's got some elastication that will basically hang around the helmet ring here at the back quite nicely. So you can see there, that's where the draw cord kind of lies. You can kind of get it around the edge, or tucked over the top just, but either way, there's pretty slack tolerance on these, and if you wish, you can tuck the hood deep under the back here, keep it nice and tidy. It is possible to put the net on over the top, get it to sit in here and still let the old mullet out, but yeah, we'll get to that. Right, so I might use old mate here. Makes life a little easier. Of course you don't need one. Thanks, Frank. Right, so this is the draw cord net. Just gonna throw that over the top, get that around. Now, it's kind of like a four-handed affair. You can do it by yourself. I'm just putting tension down on the draw cord itself. While I'm doing that, I'm just gonna wrap it down and around the edges there. think we're looking pretty golden. And then I'm just gonna pinch that in as hard as possible. Might take that off him. Get a wee twist. Just gonna tie it in on itself. Just a simple little loop there. There you have it. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple. Again, as mentioned, you can pull the mullet out, as we call it here down under. That's it with the mullet fully out, and you can pop that off. Pop this on me noggin. We've got a bit of neck protection during those cold, blustery months. So there you have it, guys. That's how to get a East German Strichtarn helmet cover / hood on, all the features within it, and also how a net helps keep that on there. And not to mention being able to add local camouflage where you should actually need it instead of the old teardrops. If East German surplus is something that interests you, we've got a very select run of these helmet nets and covers right now. They're not something that we have had before, really, or not at least online in any great quantities. So I'd definitely jump in there is what I'm saying. With surplus, you never know when it's coming from next. And well, needless to say, they don't make them anymore. Anyways, head up to our bio at Army Outdoors, like and subscribe. Let us know what else you'd like to see in the future in terms of East German gear. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.